time session. For those who join me later, even if you see this live saved and you watch it later, do understand that I talk about life, the universe and everything, my unique way of looking at life, and we go into lots of different aspects and concepts depending on the people that are on the live and often asking their own questions. So enjoy, hang out. You might get some answers that help you move forward in your own life. So I hope if you watch this after the live, after it's loaded, that you enjoy it. And I shall continue to wait for a few viewers to jump on. Always quiet while we wait. Always takes a minute or so to kick in. Playing with my big crystal here. Helps to balance my energy. Just centering, breathing in the nose, deep into the diaphragm, exhaling. Repeat this to allow stress to wash away every day. If you do that every day for a couple of minutes, you'll find that your stress levels will improve. It is a very basic form of meditation. Just breathing, holding, exhale. And we've got a few people jumping on. So here I am, Craig. For those who have not seen me before, welcome. This is my YouTube live chat, Craigsworldrocks. And welcome to you guys. You know, if you have not seen me before, I talk about life, the universe and everything. Whatever's interesting, I usually will have a chat about it in my own way about how I look at life. And things that I've been shown and opened up to over the years. Tamara, how you going? I hope your week has been good. My week has been good. But yes, the Grim Reaper. Hello, sir or madam or miss. Oh. Very good. Welcome, guys. Welcome aboard. I'm here for another Sunday night. Jackson, how you going, mate? You're a guy. Good on you. Good on you, Grim Reaper. Thank you for confirming that for me. Yes, my week has been very, very busy, and I have not had any more time to do other lives this week, just gone. So lots to talk about, lots to discuss. Those who have seen me before and listened to me before, obviously any questions during our session, you can throw them out there if you want to get my perspective on anything. Happy to talk about it. You know, the forum is pretty open, but, you know, as per usual, I will talk about how we're going in our lives and how we're keeping on that positive track about, you know, yeah, it's going good, Grim Reaper. It's going very good. Yes, had a fresh haircut this week, Mr. Blogs. I hope you are all going well, mate. I feel much lighter, taking a bit off the top. There you go. Hey, Ruth, how you going? I hope everyone's week has gone well. I hope there's been lots of positive breakthroughs from the individual perspective. And I hope we're really starting to, for those who have listened to me before, thanks, Ruth, appreciate that. Short hair's the go these days, much easier to look after. I hope we're all starting to take notice of the things that are happening around us, Let's start really honing in on what's going on around us and what's the message we're trying to get to ourselves from the things that we're creating around us. It's a new understanding to a lot of people to actually take the time to notice what's happening in your world and to realize that your world around you is actually a reflection of what's going on inside yourself. So if you're happy with what's being manifested around you and it's all turning more positive, top, fantastic stuff. Cousin broke his arm yesterday. Well, that's no good for your cousin, beating himself up like that. I mean, he's obviously, maybe feeling a bit angry about something within himself, about himself, Ruth. So, and he's manifested the odd snapperoonie. Thanks, Fred. No, we're this week I've been very busy myself. A lot of things happening in the world. I do want to reaffirm to everyone that tunes in and listens to me, don't get caught up too much in world events. That's the world collective, and there's a lot of clearing going on. There's a lot of old energy coming to the surface as I think the vibration of the planet does rise. So a lot of people in the world that have hidden their negative agendas, that crap's coming to the surface. We can all see it. So, all of us individuals we don't want to get caught up in the collective stuff. We want to really focus in on our individual stuff. So the stuff that you can focus on is you, that's going on in your life, and, okay, I'm just going to read this. Sorry, guys. Ruth here. Anyway, I know it wasn't here for long. That's all right, Ruth. Not a problem. You do you, and I will always be on from time to time, and always Sunday nights. So, I'll be here for the next hour and a half, depending on what you're doing, right? So thank you, Ruth. Appreciate you. So let's all try and focus in on ourselves going forward, right? The world is going to do the world. And our piece of the puzzle, it's important that we try and be as positive about who we are and create as much positive in our own worlds. That adds to the collective, right? That adds to the transformation of the planet as a whole. So if you think that you can't make a difference, you're wrong. Your personal attitude and positivity towards life is very important to everyone in the world. Now, you do influence people that are in your own world, your friends, your family, the people around you. If you start changing things for the better in your own world, your friends and family are going to be interested to know how you're doing it. And that comes down to, hey, I'm just really focusing on what Wi-Fi provider? I think I'm with Optus, to be honest, but yeah. Telstra's been the main one, but I think I've flipped to Optus. ME50, mate, how you going? Good to see you. So it's all right. I'm going to turn up my volume there too. That was down a bit. So I want us to look at ourselves. I want us to really start to continue the focus on, hey, Azumi, how you going, mate? I want us to really take notice of what's going on around ourselves, because it's about you. What's happening in front of you in your world, what you're creating in your own space, on your daily excursions out and about to work and school or whatever you're doing. When things are being created in your world, it is a reflection that you are creating for you. Now, let's use an example here. You might be walking down the street and there's another person 5 meters ahead of you, and you both see some type of scenario happen. Maybe it's a car accident, maybe it's something else, whatever it might be. The meaning for the two individuals is unique to each other. It's not the same. That situation has happened. Yes, I do, Azumi. I remember you. I remember your name there. Not a problem. Yeah, absolutely, mate. So when two people 5 meters apart see a scenario happen with an accident, it actually has been created for the both of them for different reasons. Okay, so it will mean something different to both those individuals, but it is a creation and a reflection for you when it's in your reality, when it's in your space, when it's there in your world. Pay attention to the things that are happening around you. You know, when your life is going along really, when you're really positive, what was you talking about last time? Azumi, I'm not going to remember that one, but you can remind me. I remember you chatting, but I can't remember what it was about. Because when I have conversations, Azumi, I'm not running off a script. All this information will just flow through me. It's things that I understand. It's talking about different scenarios from my beliefs and things that I've proven to myself over my journey. And so I'm really off the top. So once I talk about something, I then let it go. I really try to let it go. So yeah, I remember names, I remember all that, but yeah, months ago, I can't remember. Well, there you go. Well, if you can't remember Azumi, we're all in trouble. No, it's all good, mate. If it's important in the now, the thoughts and those comments can be brought up now, right? So if it's not something that's bothering you right now or not coming back, then it's not important. The things that come up and keep reoccurring into your mind or into your life, they're the things that your higher self or the true you wants to actually deal with right now. The only place in this life that's absolutely important is the now. So, you know, focus on who you are now, focus on what's coming up now, and that's the best advice I can give everyone. I seem to have been receiving a few messages from, I'll just say, some of my mates on the other side today about my chat today. And it is really about, today I want to really emphasize that fact that each individual needs to be taken notice, really start to take notice of what's happening in your world, on your day-to-day life. Where if things are going smoothly, I want to get back on this track. If things are going smoothly, one with the creator, absolutely, Azumi, we are part of the all that is. That's how I see it too. And the extraterrestrials, I will have a bit of a chat about them as we get further into the chat today. So there are some new things that I've seen recently. I will talk about those, Azumi, so do hang on. This week's been very interesting in my own stargazing experiences, so I will save those to a little bit further on the chat. But yeah, we want to take more ownership in paying attention to the part of ourselves that's trying. Hey, Z Guitar Boy 67, how you going? Just join. What's up? No, all good, brother. Doing my normal thing, talking about life, the universe, and everything. That's how I go. Basically, you know, looking at life from a perspective of we all are creating what goes on in our lives, and understanding that we can take ownership of that and be in more conscious control of what's going on. And that everything that does happen in your world, around you, is a reflection of what's happening inside yourself, what you believe, things that are coming up to be dealt with. They manifest as things that happen in your world. So basically looking at your external world closely and in the right way allows you to actually get a reflection for yourself. And that's something that is a new concept to a lot of people, but it is very much a metaphysical point of view. It's an understanding of what you put out is what you get back. It's taking ownership that you are a part of the all that is, right? So if you're not sure about Z Guitar Boy, I'm not a religious guy. I'm very much a spiritual guy. I believe that we're all part of existence. I think existence is important. I think we exist for a reason. I think we enjoy learning about life, the universe, and everything. I think we enjoy experiencing life from many different perspectives. And that's something that I talk about because I find that fascinating about life. I mean, so many people treat their lives with a blasé, who cares attitude. I don't really understand it, throwaway type thing, where I think we should all be taking a bit more honesty about it and a bit more, let's prove a few things to ourselves here, right? Yeah, it is, mate. It is. It's just been, I'm a very half glass full guy, right? So the more positive you are in your life, if what I'm talking about is real, that it's only going to be beneficial. You know, you often find very negative, very angry people that are fighting against life and upset about things that have happened to them. Often they keep recreating a lot of negative scenarios in their life and they say, always bad things happen. That's because they keep creating it because they're on this hamster wheel, right? Of that they don't realize they're on, that their actual thoughts and their comments and their actions continue to be negative and they keep recreating the negative. Life is physical and non-physical. It actually is, Azumi. I mean, our energy body is behind our physical body. This is a physical world, right? We exist in this physical world. Now, many of us believe that this is like a simulated creation of a physical world that we come and live in to actually experience ourselves in a physical form, right? That we can come and actually do all these things from a physical perspective and understand ourselves from being in a physical body, but controlled by our life force, controlled by our soul, whatever you want to call it, the energy of life that is us, the all that is. We're all a part of this life force energy. I myself have seen my own energy. It's a blue vibration when I was separate from my physical body quite a few years ago now, got to separate myself and I looked at my energy body. So, Skur Palm Man, that is your opinion, my friend, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. So, you know, please always, with everything I talk about, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I'm not here to tell people what to believe, but I do express how I see things from my experiences and the things that I've gone through and the mentors I've had over, 30 plus years. So exactly, mate, exactly. And, if people don't agree with my philosophy, that's okay. They don't have to stay and listen. My philosophy is something that a lot of people do agree with. It's not jammed into one control space. It's very much, we're a part of everything. We're all the same. We all come into this world as human beings and we'll all leave the same way. So aren't we all brothers and sisters? Shouldn't we treat each other with the greatest of respect and care and decency? Because we are the same. There is no better or less than and so on and so forth. There's so many screwed up beliefs in this world that need to be balanced out. If people just sat back and thought about what life was, yeah, they might, no worries, mate. All good, my brother. Drop in any time. Remember, Sunday night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm always jumping on. So feel free to join, mate, whenever you like. And I do jump on lives occasionally as well. Hopefully the next couple of weeks I'll get to do a few more, mate. But if you've subscribed, you'll see when I pop on. Thanks for hanging out, brother. So reflection, guys. The thing I wanted to talk about tonight was really starting, George Jenkins, how you going? Okay, but some people are better than others. No, well, I don't believe that, George. I mean, each person, look at life, right? Each person has a different job or a different place in life or whatever it is. You do the things that sit with you. You do the things in life that hopefully you're doing things that you like to do, right? But no person should see themselves as better. If a person sees themselves as better than others, then that's ego. You're listening to your ego. Your ego mind isn't your heart center. Your heart center understands that we're all one. We're all part of everything. We're existence, right? And you can feel confident about who you are, infinite, my boy. But it can't, if you want to truly create positive things in your life, I'm a believer that you want to create from your heart. If you create from your ego, it can be destroyed very easily. You can lose it very easily. they created very negative experiences through controlling others, so on and so forth. George, we won't jump into all the details of those lovely people, but everyone has free will to create what they want to create. I'm a believer that people create their own reality. Now, if you create your own reality from ego, which you can do, you can do very, very bad things to other people if they allow you to do them to you, right? I'm also a big believer that people can only control someone else if that person gives their power to them. Now, I believe that free will is all of ours to own, but you've got to take ownership of that, right? If you think about a lot of the things out there in life and a lot of the groups that are out there they'll say that you're lesser than, right? That to believe in this higher power type scenario. And if you don't give yourself to the higher power, then you're not going to have good things happen to you. There are positives and negatives in life, George, and there's Hitlers, there's Mussolini's, there's people that have done horrific stuff in this world, but that's their choice to do it. And I believe from a broader perspective that they chose to do that for the world, learning different lessons from them existing in that way. So when we look at a lot of these negative situations, right, from close up, it's very hard to get past it. It's very hard to accept it, yeah? So it's like if I use the example, I've been through my life, and there's been things in my life that a person would say, geez, that was a pretty bad thing Craig went through, right, when I was younger. But at the time, all you could see was the negative of the situation. But 15 years down the track, let's say, when that person looks back on that, if I hadn't gone through a couple of those experiences, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And so sitting back and looking at the whole perspective, that situation that would have been termed negative at the time actually almost changes into something that's taught me so much more to become more of who I am. Now, you can agree with that or not agree with that, but for me, that's true, right? So negative situations, when one door closes, another one opens. The answer is fine, enrichment falls apart when you're looking at the present and the future. Well, I believe you shouldn't try and look at the future too much, George. The only place that exists for all of us is here and now. Yesterday was now when we were there, but you can't keep hanging on to yesterday because now it's gone, right? You want to be, hey, Mars, how you going? You want to be basically focused on what you can do, and the only place you truly exist ever is the now. The future comes from you improving the now, right? Changing. You're a creature of change. We're all creatures of change, right? Every minute of every day, every second or millisecond or whatever you want to say, every moment we change. How do I know that? We're getting older. Our bodies deteriorate. We are in a simulation that's been created by us. This is what I believe. And we actually can do different things and transform our lives for the better and have that control to learn the lessons that we want to learn from this particular scenario, right? You have to be able to step back. That's the toughest thing, right? Well, I'll keep going, George, for you, mate. But yeah, I know where you're coming from, and it's at different points and different times we can actually, it's hard when you're looking at the perspective of the moment to get the fuller picture. It's almost like there was a point in my life that I went through certain things where I learned to step back more. I learned to step back and look at the whole thing, and you do see it from a different perspective. It's like when you're a different age, when you become an adult from a child, the situation that happens when you're a child, when you look at it from an adult's perspective, it's different again. It's being able to look at the whole scenario, look at the whole jigsaw puzzle. Existence, I believe that we we basically decide to live this life. We've come here to live these lives in our individual bodies that we're living today, right? Like I'm living a life of Craig here and I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and that's the existence that, you know, I'm experiencing life through. And everyone else is choosing to live their lives through their bodies and who they are. And, you know, basically you can look at life that it's just one life, but I believe very strongly that we live infinite lives. And so existence is life on top of life on top of life, learning many, many, many things from many different experiences and objectives. If you believe that there's only one life, then it does make you look at things from a different perspective. But these are things that I think individuals, as they go through their own experiences, can expand on how they see things through, you know, things that you go through. You know, we're not here. Yeah, I do believe in reincarnation, Mars. I believe that we're sparks of existence. We're consciousness. We're vibration and energy, however you want to put it. We exist ongoing. It doesn't disappear. You know, energy and vibration doesn't disappear. So we all want all the local, but when you look into individuals, you can. Yeah, okay, that's looking at it from that perspective of the individuals at the time, right? But when look at it like this, George. When you watch a movie, right, isn't every character in that movie, no matter if they're positive, negative, the lead character, the chimney sweep, whatever, they're all important to the concept of the story, right? And everyone's got to play their part. And that's kind of how I see life, right? That life is a journey and we're all playing roles within that life for the overall understanding and experience of the situation. You know, sometimes when you could meet someone for 5 minutes in your life and that individual with that conversation can change your direction instantly just because that particular person says a particular thing that sparks you awake in some area that you're not awake in yet. I think it's about trying to stay as open-minded as you can, right? I'm as skeptical as the next guy. And a lot of people go, wow, wouldn't think Craig's skeptical, but I am, because if you're not skeptical when you listen to things, when you try and learn new things, how do you differentiate what's going to work for you and what isn't? You know, the story I tell regularly, and I'll tell it again tonight for the people that are listening. When I was in my 20s and I first discovered the metaphysical way of looking at things and meditation and spiritual aspect to life, and we're talking 35 years ago now, I basically found out about a concept called OBEs, which was out-of-body travel. And I was like saying to one of my mates, you're kidding, right? Like these people think that we can get out of our bodies and we can do things, but they're saying this is real. And I was highly skeptical. Now, my mate found a book, bought me a book and said, hey, here's a book on out-of-body experiences. Why don't you have a read of that and see what you can find out, right? Because he didn't know any more about it than I did. And I read this book and it talked about 10 different concepts to, you know, getting out of your body to create a separation between the physical and your energy body. Because I thought to myself, if I can prove that my energy body exists and it's separate, separate to the physical, then I'm proving to myself that I go on, that I exist on past this physical life. And I had to know. So I found there was a technique in the book called concentration of will. And how are you, cruising? Just putty. Yeah, there you go. I basically did this technique. In short, after about 2 to 3 weeks of going through a few of the processes and bringing on what's called the internal vibration, so it's like a shaking in your body, I was able to actually separate from the body and see my energy body, which was a vibrational blue. I was vibrating this blue energy. My body was laying on my bed and I was sitting up out of my body. Now, I felt at that time 1,000 times more powerful than any time in the physical body. I knew right then, and I freaked the hell out too. I was like, oh, what if I can't get back in my body? As soon as I thought that, I was back in my body. So I know it's real. I know we go on. I can say that to all of you, and you can believe it or not believe it. That's all good. But I know that to be true for me, and I needed to do that for me, right? So that allowed me to then look at life in other ways as well. Because there's a lot of limiting beliefs that we all carry. Last Sunday, I did speak about your program beliefs, and I went into depth about that. I tried to talk about how each individual has their own programming and their beliefs in place. And if you believe something that's there because of things that you've been told and you've gone through, and you believe it, very hard for you to change that belief, but you can. You change your belief by realizing whether you want to keep believing it or not, right? Beliefs only exist because you believe them. But the beliefs frame what you allow yourself to create in your world. Why can some people create magnitude of wealth and other people are poor? Because of their beliefs. Remember, we're all sparks of love and light, but we've all forgotten who we are because we do that to ourselves when we come in to live this life. Because we want to relearn what it's like to experience something for the first time again. You know, like, think about it this way. If you've lived tens or hundreds of thousands of lifetimes, why would you want to remember who you are to come into the physical again? Because you'd remember all the things that you've done before, and would they not be as exciting? The excitement of experiencing something for the first time when you believe it's the first time is something I think that all of us love, right? The first time you kiss a girl, the first time you get your license and you're driving around. They're experiences that bring euphoria to you. They're experiences that lift our vibration. Lifting our vibration is what I believe we're all trying to do, consciously or unconsciously. And I think the planet itself right now is going through a vibrational lift, right? With or without us. But we're on the planet, so it's lifting with us, right? And that's why a lot of people are feeling uncomfortable. They're feeling a little bit off at the moment. Do you think we take what we're doing here and take it? Absolutely we do. Now, when we step back, when we cross over again, when we leave this physical realm, I think all of our information will come flooding back to who we are. I think that comes back. I think that we basically can remember it here in this world. I think we can open up our mind to allow the information from our experiences to come back into our physical mind now. But, you know, that is about lifting your vibration while you're here as much as you can. Go Aussie. No, love all the Aussies on here. Appreciate all the hanging out and support. The lifting of your vibration. Everyone in the spiritual world, if you listen to many of the psychics and people talking away online, they'll say, oh yeah, you've got to lift your vibration. They don't always talk about how to do that, right? You do it simply by doing the things that you love to do, right? If you really enjoy riding a bike, or you really enjoy fixing cars, but you're in an office doing something completely different, drinking Jimmy and Jack. Well, see, that's you might want to get into becoming a publican cruising, right? Like, I believe people should spend their life and their work life doing things that they really enjoy doing, because when you do something that you enjoy, you don't work a day in your life. You want to get up, you want to go do it because it's something that you just really enjoy to do, right? So it's working out from the individual perspective, what is it that you really want to do? Like, when you do a job, I get it, we're all doing work to pay the bills and keep the family happy and, you know, keep the family happy and all that type of stuff. But can't you create positive abundance for yourself doing something that you enjoy? Does it have to be through a job that you hate? I mean, through my life, I've done work that I didn't like, and I've done work that I really enjoyed. And you know, you basically can create more. I think more opportunities come our way when we start to do things that we really, really enjoy. That's life, treadmill. You know, that's life. You get older, you get a bit heavier. You must be young and fun, yeah? Look, being positive, being your attitude, having the right attitude is how you're going to take ownership of what goes on in your life for the better. You know, if you want to lift that vibration, if you want to open up to who you really are, if you want to connect with your mind in the aspects to parts of your mind that you know, the science will tell you we don't use those parts of the mind. The only maximum is 10% of the brain that we use. I believe very strongly that if you lift your positive, if you lift your positive attitude, that lifts. If you do things more positively, you'll lift your vibration. When you lift your vibration, you naturally connect with those parts of the mind that you don't necessarily connect with at the moment, right? And if you want to really understand who you are, if you want to really connect with the person that you are, the true you, you want to actually go forward and do things that are from the heart. You want to do positive things for you, right? Everyone's trying to do everyone to keep everyone else happy. It's your life, right? It's your life. You want to actually live your life for someone else, or do you want to live your life for yourself? I, for one, choose to live life for me. I'll do what I want to do for me. As long as you're not hurting other people, there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're out there trying to, hurt other people or be controlling or, take control of others for your own nefarious reasons, then you're on the wrong path, boys and girls. The only person in life that you should be trying to take control of is you and knowing who you are. And it's not about ego. It's about self-worth. It's about self-esteem. And many people are totally scared to actually look at themselves in that way. It's about being authentic and honest with who you are. If you want to transform your life, you can't play bullshit games. There's many people that jump online and play bullshit games, right? Do whatever you want to do, right? It's your life. You can waste it completely, or you can actually try and work out what it's all about and take it a bit more seriously. And I'm not talking about having a drink or a smoke cruising. I'm talking about authentically taking ownership of who you are. Looking yourself down the line in the mirror and saying, am I a good person or am I a prick? Because you can choose to be a prick. You can choose to be really negative and really nasty and really angry and be angry at the world about things not going the way you want. Or you can choose to be the best version of you can be. That can't be bullshit, right? And that's what I'm talking about. It's not about following any freaking anything. It's about listening to who you are and being an honest individual with yourself. Doing the things, going after the things that are for you, not from a selfish perspective, that they make you feel good, they lift your vibe, you show others around you that you care about. This is how you get the most out of your life. That's what it is. Get the most out of your lives, right? You'll feel the most connected you've ever felt ever. If you're doing things in life that actually make you feel good, right? You'll feel connected with life, right? What's the number one reason or number one thing of suicide in this world? It's they feel disconnected, like there's no place for them in life, and sorry. Peter, hello, Skippy. Yes, I am from Australia. How are you going, mate? Melbourne, Australia is where I hail from. That's right. Yeah, cruising, absolutely, right? Absolutely. You're opening up your vibration with the medicinal plant of marijuana, which, hey, Peter, welcome, mate. How you going? And no matter whatever your vibe is now, you open to more of that. So it doesn't actually make you feel more positive. It just opens up and emphasizes and makes more of what you're feeling at that time. So, when angry and upset, probably not a good time to partake, right? And basically looking yourself in the mirror and saying, why am I pissed off? Why aren't things going my way? What do I want, right? But I appreciate that, cruising. But that's the thing, right? You can't lie to yourself. The only person that knows if you're telling the truth or not is you, right? You got to look yourself down the barrel and you got to be honest about who you are, right? What do you want? See, what I believe, I was disconnected for a long time in life, right up to about 20, until I discovered a woman, her name was Cheryl. She was a psychic, and she was my first connection with someone that believed that individuals have a say in their life, that every single person creates their own reality. The unfortunate thing about many organisations, and when I say organisations, I mean religions as well, they all tell you that you don't have too much of a say in it because you have to believe in a higher power and give your power away, that you're less than, that you're a sinner. You're not a sinner. You're unbelievable. We're sparks of love and life. We are immortal gods, for Christ's sake. That's who we are. We're sparks of existence, right? I've been out of my body. I've seen the energy. I've felt it. It's like, it's freaking real. And an individual can experience that. You can check it out for yourself. Sorry, cruising, I was just reading that. And Peter, world peace, no wars. Exactly, mate. But if you... That's just outside to me deck, boys and girls. Don't freak out, Anthony. Don't freak out. So that's because my chair's probably touching the curtain, to be honest. I was getting excited, right? We create what goes on in our life. Now, you believe that now, or maybe you don't. But it's what I believe is something that each person can prove to themselves, right? What you put out is what comes back, right? Well, it's probably because I'm knocking it as I bloody move on my chair, Anthony. Sorry to freak you out, matey. Don't worry about it. It's, look, hang on, I'll move the chair. No, there's nothing there. Okay, cool. There's no breeze. I'm inside my house. And the window's closed. I've answered all the questions about it. All right, everyone. But creating your own reality is something you can prove to yourself. I am a highly skeptical person. I won't believe something unless I've proved it to myself. I'm doing these lives because I want to show the authentic me. I want people to see that your average Joe that said, hey, I'm going to check these things, and I'm not going to sit here and just believe blankly what people tell me, right? You've got to actually take ownership of your lives, everyone. We get thrown all these programs from TV, we get told all these things that are like making us, not get up and about in life anymore. We're all sitting around chilling out too much. When I was a kid, we were all out in the street, running around, riding bikes, experiencing life. I look out in the street, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and there ain't too many kids riding around in their bikes anymore. There ain't too many people running around outside anymore. But, it's understanding that there's a totally different way we should be actually going forward and looking at life is something that the individual has to decide is important for them to do, right? Like I always say, please, with everything that that's all right, Anthony, no worries, mate. With everything that, we do, we should be proving it to ourselves. I want you guys to take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. Your life is your journey. There are infinite pathways you could be going down, right? You've chosen the path you're on now. You know what you've been doing, and you probably have an idea of the direction that you're going in, right? But I want you to know that you can change it at any point in time. If you don't like something going on in your life, then change direction. Do something different. Do something else. Do something else that you think would be fun for you or exciting or bring some positive vibe into your life. You're not strapped into one particular aspect to life or one particular direction, right? Change is hard, man, yeah. But we are creatures of change. And I think we're programmed to believe that change is uncomfortable and hard. And I think you've just got to connect with who you are and say, what is it that, it's like the analogy I give where I say, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself honest questions, right? What do you want? Who are you? Are you being, are you actually being the version, or should I say, the version of yourself that you want to be? Are you doing the best you can? If you can say yes to those questions, then you're probably going okay. There's no right or wrong. There's no, you've got to get to a certain point in life to achieve enlightenment. That's all bullshit. I'll tell you, I'm a spiritual person, but there's no level you're going to get to in learning something where you've achieved, amazingness. You already have the golden ticket. You exist forever. You are here experiencing life through the eyes of who you are now. And I think it's important, but also, to do things that you really enjoy doing. I actually believe that when think about this, right? If you have an experience that excites you, doesn't your vibration lift? Don't you feel euphoric? Would you like to feel like that all the time? Now, I know that people take substances to get a high. Would you like to have the high all the time? This is the thing that people need to realize, right? They often chase these highs, but they're only medicinal highs. They're only there for a short time and then you crash, right? If you do something in life that truly is from your heart and it's truly something that you love, you will have a natural high all the time. Something to think about. So, 3 things. Because every time I have a chat, we don't own kangaroos. No, we don't. Kangaroos are dangerous, everyone. They will rip your head off. Yep. And they're delicious. All right, so yes, they did. Someone did use up. They lied to you. So 3 things, and I always mention these things when I have a chat. You want to understand, or you want to change your life for the better. Creating your own reality is something that we all do. And the 3 things that actually you can do to create things consciously in your world. 1, control what you think. Now, if a person says, I can't control what I think, bullshit, right? You've got to actually start to think more positive. See, because the first step in creating your own reality is what you think. If you are thinking things about other people that are negative, guess what? You're putting out negative thoughts to manifest those negative things in your world. It doesn't hurt anyone else. It only hurts you. Number 2, what you speak. When you speak crap, when you talk terrible words, when you judge people, when you're negative about stuff and you're throwing stuff out there, and emotions can get the better of people, right? Fully understand it, been there, done that, right? But when you express those things in a negative way, you are not hurting the other people unless they take on what you said, and that would mean they actually believe what you said for themselves, and that's their issue. But you're actually projecting those negative thoughts on you. That's the number one thing you're doing. So what you think and what you say affect you, not anyone else. Only if they believe what you've said, they will then take it on from their own perspective, because maybe they believe the same thing as what you just said. That's a whole nother discussion, all right? And then the third thing is your actions. So your subconscious mind hears what you hear, hears what you think, or hears what you think, hears and sees what you speak, and your subconscious sees how you act. Those 3 things, your subconscious will go, oh, you're doing those 3 things, you're saying that, you're being that, I'll give you more of that. Yeah? So basically, they're the 3 things that go a very long way to creating the things that go on in your life. Now, you are doing those things without consciously being aware of it most of the time. I am telling you that if you work from your heart and you start to think more positive and you speak more positive, so when you meet someone, hi, how are you going? Are you having a great day? I'm having a great day. And you lift your vibe when you do it, because you know that what you're saying is what's going to come back to you. So do you want to be spoken to in a really positive, high, great, positive way? Yeah, I want to be told that I'm great. I want to be told that I want the reflection of the world to say I'm doing a great job. So act like that. Act like that, because when you start to do that, that will be reflected back to you, right? When you then start to, I want to have more of this in my life. I want to do this particular job, not the one that I'm doing over here. And you start to do a little bit of that, and you start doing a hobby, and you go, this is what I really want to be doing, this hobby thing that I'm into. I really want to do that. Your subconscious sees you starting to do that and says, oh, you want more of that? Let's create you more opportunities. And then bang, suddenly there's a manifested opportunity where someone says, oh, I've got a job here, and it would be doing what you do as a hobby 5 days a week, and it'll pay twice as much as what you're being paid doing something you hate. Would you like to do this for me? The world can transform like that if you take the time to look at your world consciously and start to take ownership of that. So Miriam, sorry, I've been right off going on my rant there because I got into my groove. And Byron Davey is carrying on about drones, so I don't know what he's going on about. So Miriam, I want to answer your question for you. Hang on one second. What do I think about current political situation? I see it, I observe it, and I don't let it affect me. I know that's hard to believe, right? But that's the collective consciousness of the world, and Trump's involved in that, right? So Trump is at the figurehead of the United States, and certain things are coming up, and there'll be more stuff coming up, right? So basically, we have to allow that to play out, right? We have to allow that to play out. Thanks, Ari. Appreciate you, mate. So we have to allow the collective to play out, but it's a lot of the negative old stuff that's coming up. So let it come up. Focus here on you, right? Focus here on what you can do for you. The only person that you can be in control of is yourself. And I say that from my heart, and I say that to all you guys and girls. Your life is in your hands. Your creations are in your hands. You are the master of creation. Once you realize this, once you connect with this part of yourself, you can transform your life into whatever you want. And a lot of people are blown away to hear that, but that's the truth. That's what's coming for everyone. I believe that we're awakening more and more and more to who we really are. We've been lied to our whole lives. The world and its groups have controlled us for a millennia, right? A long, 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 long time. And it's time that control is given back to where the ownership really is. And that's with each of us as individuals. We are more amazing than we realize. You are all amazing, powerful human beings and beings of existence, right? You live forever, for crying out loud. I've been out of my body, for crying out loud. What could possibly worry me? Nothing. Nothing. A person can't kill me. I'm immortal. You can knock my physical body off myself, but I will go on. That's a great thing to understand. I proved that to myself 30 odd years ago. Life is amazing. So don't worry about all the stuff happening around. Focus on you. Meditation is massively important for us because it slows down your vibration, right? Breathing and centering of yourself brings you back into who you are. The speed and the craziness of this world at the moment, it's out of control. So once a day, if each of you want to help yourselves, give yourself 5 minutes, separate from the craziness and just quiet room, breathe in the nose, deep into the stomach, exhale out the mouth, close your eyes, 5 minutes, do this over and over again, release the stress of the day. It'll slow your heartbeat, it'll make you focus on you, and that is what you need to be doing right now. Not being caught up in all the external crap, because there's a lot of crap, it's got nothing to do with you. That's the collective, right? So how did I achieve my out-of-body experience? It was through a technique called concentration of will, and it is about relaxing the body and saying the same thought over and over and over in your mind constantly until the internal vibration comes on. And when it gets to a point of, the vibration gets to a point of, it's like a sound. The only way I can tell it to you, Ari, it's like a sound where it's like, you get this shaking where your part of you inside your physical is shaking and you can feel it, right? And then it gets to a point where it gets like still and it's like inside yourself. You hear this beep, like it's shaking that fast and it's just a sound. That's the point where they say you can separate. Yeah, Miriam, that's it. That's it. And that's the number one focus, okay? If you do that, if you do that every day, once a day, 5-10 minutes, you will empower yourself to be centered, and there'll be nothing that'll bother you on the external, right? It's doing that as much as you can. And I know that life is out of control at times, but yeah, it's decompress. It'll actually just de-stress you, even if that's what you get from it, right? The out-of-body thing, Ari, it took about 3 weeks of doing it every night because I'd get to a point where I'd be holding my consciousness at a relaxed state. You know, it was at bedtime time type thing. So you're already tired, but you'd hold your consciousness, you'd relax, and then you'd find myself dropping off and you'd drop into sleep, right? It took about 3 weeks before I held my consciousness and awareness and was able to relax to a point where the vibrations got to the sound and then the separation would happen. So there are many books out there, Ari, and I would say go get yourself one on techniques of getting out of your body. There's a guy that I talk about all the time called Robert Monroe. Robert Monroe was the author of a book called Journeys Out of the Body. If it does interest you, get Robert Monroe's Journeys Out of the Body. He has passed now. He's passed over, but he created a university in the States called the Monroe Institute. All right, and that is a university or institute that people go there to learn how to do out-of-body traveling and experiences. It's real, right? But you can get there just with, natural meditation. All right. So, very, very, very good book, Journeys Out of the Body. Here's another book that I don't talk about that much, but I'm going to throw it out there for people that like books. There's a lot of talk, because I was talking to ME50. Is ME50 still online? I was going to talk about a little bit of alien stuff now, just to throw things up, just to mess things around, right? There was a book I was introduced to many years ago as well, called The Palladian Agenda. So we might or might not have heard of the alien race called the Palladians. This book was called The Palladian Agenda, and the author was Barbara Hand Clow. And basically, this book talked about lots of different extraterrestrial races, and even had a chapter on the Lizzies. They called them the Lizzies. And I don't know whether people can remember Jim Morrison from The Doors. Maybe some do, some don't. But remember his famous line, "I am the Lizard King, I can do anything." A lot of people believe that he connected with the Lizzies through some of his LSD experiences. But this book, when I read this book and I read this chapter many, many years ago, I had some visions and memories come back from what I believe is like past lives, and some of the beings in some of these memories were lizard people, believe that or not. So, yeah, I think that there's many, many, many different extraterrestrial races in the universe, and I do think there's many of them that have been watching over us for a long time, and I see them as our star brothers and sisters. I see them as they're here to help us. If they wanted to wipe us out, we'd already be gone. You know, they've been here for a long, long time. They're on all the hieroglyphs. They're on all the drawings. There's alien ships here, there, everywhere, right? So, last week, just for my friend ME50. So, I was out the back doing some stargazing. Thought I'd put out my mental discussion, or, you know, I spoke to whoever may be there in the sky, and I've just said to them, look, if I've got a connection with you guys, I would really love it if you just give us a flash, give us a wave, you know. I try and be the best version of myself, so I want to know that you're there and that things are moving. And no word of a lie, within 10 seconds, and I have a hammock out the back, so I lay in the hammock, so nice and easy on the neck, right, when you're watching the stars. That's I recommend getting a hammock, right, to watch the stars. So basically, I watched this light appear just like a satellite dot in the sky. It moves a little bit, and then it just suddenly pulsates really big, and then pulsates down and just cloaks out. Within, you know, you're looking up the sky within a, you know, long way away, but in a short span, it happened really quickly, and I took that as, hey, they were saying hi. So, and 2 more times during the night in other directions for the same type of thing, which it's not a satellite. I watch heaps of satellites every night go over the sky. They follow the arc of the Earth. They stay at the same distance from the planet. You can see them from horizon to horizon. You know, hey Leon, how you going, mate? And yeah, so ME50, they're there, mate. Don't stress about it. Things are happening. Look, I think the more that you are, all right, you want to connect with, if people want to connect with our extraterrestrial or star family, if you want to connect and have them come and see you or show up in the sky, right, I believe you've got to be an authentic, genuine person. Can you please wave in the camera, because I can't hear you. Can't hear me. All right, there we go. Leon, how you going, mate? So I believe if you want to connect with them, you have to be authentic. So if you're, okay, let's say if you were drinking cans and you were lowering your vibe off, they're probably not going to appear to you when you're pissed. So you might want to do it when you're nice and clear-headed and feeling positive, because like attracts like, everyone. So you want to be feeling very positive. You want to be very honest and upfront, and you can speak your mind. You can speak out loud to the sky. I believe they're everywhere. I believe they're in our atmosphere. There's ships everywhere, and when the time comes, we're all going to know about it. They've been there. They haven't gone anywhere. They've been there a long, long time. But if you are someone that speaks from the heart, if you are genuine, yeah, not going to happen, Leon. My hair's pretty short as it is, mate. Number 2 on the side, but yeah, that's not going to happen. What was I going to say? Chance different life, bad intentions. I don't believe there is, Anthony. I don't think that they're negative. I think you'd have people in each race, right? Just like Earth, where there'd be more positive people, more negative people, right? But if you were a highly advanced spiritual race, right, that has been existing for, say, a million years, compared to our very inferior warlike race, right? And you understood that every part of the universe is connected, and you saw that we're all as important as one another. They see us, highly advanced beings would see our planet as important, and that we're important. They're like our parents, and we're like the bad little kids running around the house going, I'm going to get you, to your brother and sister, right? And I feel like the parents are going to come back into the room and say, all right, kids, it's time to settle down. We're going to get you back on track. That's what I imagine it will be when extraterrestrials re-show themselves to Western society, because the indigenous cultures have never stopped believing on this planet that ETs exist. They've always believed in the Star People, the American Indians, the Aboriginals. They all do. They've never stopped. It's Western. It's the Western culture that we all live in that has a negative viewpoint towards the possibility of that, right? But a logical thinking human being should really, Stealthy, how you going, mate? Yeah, I heard that was false, the tree logger one. I heard that was false, Anthony. Yeah, I've heard they set that up, which is, trying to make money or something. I think that's the one. But yeah, I truly believe that there's so much more to existence than what us as humans understand. I think there's hundreds and thousands of probably races out there, and not to say that we're going to meet all that amount of beings, but the universe is so big. Human beings don't actually understand how vast it is. It goes on basically forever. It's crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah, look, I would stay open-minded about, I'd stay open-minded about it all. There's a lot of really amazing stories out there when it comes to extraterrestrials. We'll see what happens, right? I mean, again, I'm a believer that you can connect with them yourself. I mean, if you haven't heard of CE5 with Stephen Greer's group, CE5, you can check that out. There are people that get together and actually meditate together, and they have experiences of UFOs showing themselves to the groups. So CE5 is an interesting one to check out. They are people just like all of us in different countries around the world that get together. So, if it's something that interests you, check it out. Like anything, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I mean, you don't do things that you don't like, but if you don't check something out, you're never going to know. All right, so always be skeptical with everything, but, but always be open-minded enough to allow yourself to learn new things, right, to expand your mind. That one, I've heard of 2 stories. There was one in, I think, Africa. There was, or Zimbabwe. Was it one of those countries in Africa? And then the Westall project in Westall High, in Victoria. Funnily enough, I knew one of the kids, and as an adult, I knew one of them. I won't mention their name, but I've met one of those kids that was at the school when they saw the spaceships, and they 100%, no word of lie, it was real, 100%. And I was well and truly into believing UFOs and that when I met this individual. So, yeah, pretty full on, right? It's funny, I think we do attract certain people to ourselves when we're ready to open up in a certain area or learn something. You find that yourself or the universe just draws these people to you, and it almost, intensifies your own belief, So when I met this individual, it was like, wow, I instantly believed them, because it was just, wasn't a coincidence. It was crazy, right? And I've seen all the Westall interviews and that, and they've been in them a bit, and there's been a few more recently with different people interviewing different kids as adults now. They're all in their 60s and 70s. Many of them have passed over, and that was that long ago. But the Westall incident, there was, I think, about 200 kids from the school that were out at recess that saw it, and teachers. So crazy, right? How they can hide something like that. And the military basically all rolled up really quickly, shut it down. Channel 9 was there. There was interviews done. There you go. There's some crazy stuff, Anthony. You can go down the rabbit hole of these things, but what do they say? More than 3 times isn't a coincidence. A couple of times maybe, but I don't believe in coincidences either. I think if something happens 1 or 2 times again and again, that's not a coincidence. And look at the UFO aspect. There's that much information. There's that much video footage. There's that many people that have come out and said, this is real, that's real. I mean, when are we just going to roll over and say, all right, what the hell? But I don't think that the American government or any of these organisations are going to come clean. I think that the extraterrestrials themselves will just step forward and say enough's enough. Bob Lazar, on the money, mate. He was on the money in the 80s, 90s, Like, I remember I was like about 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, and he came out and said what he said, and everyone thought he was just full of shit. And he was on the money. So brave guy for just coming out and saying it, like speaking his truth. But that's the thing. More of us have to, for the truth to come out, more of us have to put pressure on these organisations that have kept the truth from all of us. It's supposedly there's technology that would be free energy for the world that they're hiding. I mean, where do they get off doing that? It's all control. It's all massive control. We don't get to have free energy because they don't want to tell us, the people that actually pay them, these small people. It's crazy. Very, very crazy. Hey, Amelia, how you going? Good to see you. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing, Anthony. No offence to the religious people, but I think that we have to give the religious people credit too, that if there was something else that trumped their religious beliefs, I think many of them would be open to investigate it, would be open to listen. The crumbling of religion is the crumbling of control. The religions have been some of the biggest controls of the political parties for, again, thousands of years. And when does it stop? When do the people wake up and realise that the organisations that we created to make life easy for ourselves became corrupt thousands and thousands of years ago, right? Or hundreds of years ago, whenever it was. Like we need to just say enough's enough. I mean, we're waking up. I think the human race is waking up. More and more of us are asking these questions. We're having these discussions. I mean, 40 years ago, I wouldn't have been having this discussion. None of us would have been having this discussion. We'd be thrown away into the crazy loony bin, right? Yeah, I mean, there's so much, hey Bison, there's so much, things out there in this world that make absolutely no sense, and human beings just could not have done what they've created, and yet they don't want to allow us to think that it could possibly be extraterrestrial or someone else that's technology that we don't have now that was around back then. I mean, yeah, there's just too much of it. Yet it's in plain sight, right? It's all just been left there in plain sight, and because it's there in plain sight, I suppose we roll past it because it's not like it's hidden. If you had something that's hidden away, or someone hid something away, then you want to get to it, like the stories about Area 51, right? People want to get in there. They want to know what's in there. But when something like the pyramids is out there in plain sight, it's like, I don't know exactly how they made it, but oh well, and people move on. Yet it should be discussed openly, fully, like much more than it is. Just like, with all the videos and the events happening around UFOs and UAPs, it should be discussed on the nightly news every bloody day. The amount of things that are happening that YouTube has to actually put out there, that the small guy gathers together and puts it out for other people to see, it's ridiculous. Some of these things that are happening, it's like, why aren't they having bigger discussions about this? It's just been, they just keep blowing over it like oh well, no one's really going to care. But I think we do care. I think people do care. I think people want to know the truth. People are sick of living in the dark. I'm sick of living in the dark. I mean, it's, the world should be a different place. It should be a place where the truth prevails, where people can speak openly about what they believe and not be ridiculed for things that are outside what other people want you to believe. I mean, life is amazing. Life is so expansive and so miraculous. I mean, what do they say when a baby's born, right? Look, it's a miracle. The baby is a miracle. We're not bloody sinners. We're miracles. Every one of us. We are magic. We are miracles. We are existence personified. We are conscious thinking beings that are part of the all that is. We are part of this planet. We are part of this universe. We are not lesser than anyone. We are amazing, amazing individuals, and we need to start acting like it. Not acting like a bunch of kids. Start acting like people that, are proud of who we are, that we treat others the way we want to be treated, that love and doing things for the right reasons is the best thing in the world. I mean, when two people find each other in this world and they fall in love, isn't that the number one thing that everyone on this planet talks about? That love is the answer? Haven't I heard that somewhere? Like, why are we not focused on turning our world into that type of world? Why are we focused on all this immature bullshit? Did I say that? Immature bullshit. It's like there's a bunch of kids running the world and no one's in charge. Yeah? So I, for one, think the only way it's going to get rectified is probably that mum and dad, star family, are going to step into the room and say, hey, everyone take a seat. Here's your milk. We're going to tell you how it is. And if that happens, happy days, I reckon. Like, happy days. We just need a bit of guidance because, individually, center yourselves, please. Take on a few of the things or ideas that I've thrown out there. Try a bit of meditation. Try a bit of breathing for yourself. If you can center and improve yourself, you can then show your friends and family what you've done that's worked for you, and you can pass it on, right? It's just knowledge. It's just self-discovery. It's understanding who you are. Don't look for the answers for you out there. Look for them in here, right? The Dalai Lama, right, who, and again, I'm not religious. He's a monk, but he's one of the happiest guys that you ever see. Every time he's on TV or whatever, he's laughing and happy. He's just enjoying existence because he's connected with who he is, because he spends a lot of time, like his own group, they meditate, right? Do I like paintings? Yeah. Draftinator, yeah, paintings are okay. Okay, very good. All right. Are we going anywhere, or just you like paintings? Yeah, so you know what, guys, just if you spend a bit of time and give a bit of your time, a bit of your life to you, to yourself, you're going to find that things start to transform for the better for you, because you won't be letting that outside noise get into you as much, right? Let the quiet center, right? Let the quiet center. All right, mate. Makes no sense to me, so no. You know, I want you all just to, that are seriously wanting to take your life and start to make some adjustments and start to make some changes in a positive way, to breathe once a day, center yourself, bring your energy back in, and just start to ask yourself those honest truths about yourself. You know, it's not about beating yourself up, right? Do understand that you've got to this point in life today, now. You've got here and you've done a great job, right? You've done a great job, and you should be really, really thankful for where you are. You should be thanking yourself for getting yourself to where you are, right? You've done a great job, right? Appreciate yourself, center yourself, believe in who you are. Know that you are a perfect spark of existence. See, that perfect spark is what I'm trying to bring into this reality, and I think all of us should be trying to be the best version of ourselves we can be. Abs, I'm good, mate. I'm good. So you know, the best version of yourself is how you transform what's going on in your life for the better. And then you're showing others around you, you know, you're talking to your friends and family about what you've done, you know, and you pass on that information. You say it's about focusing on you. It's about doing the things that come from inside your heart, doing the things that make you feel good, lifting your vibration up in that way, enjoying your life on a moment by moment basis. That life's always feels good, right? Enjoy your life. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Be happy with who you are, because you're perfect. You've got the golden ticket. You live forever. So explore your life. Treat everyone the way that you'd love to be treated, because everyone around you is a reflection of who you are anyway. So you want to be talking to yourself in the best possible way. Be happy for other people, and then you start to transform your life in that way. It's backwards to a lot of people think about it, but try these things for yourself. If you want to transform your life for the better, start to act better. You're the central focus for you. You are the central focus. How you think, how you speak, and how you act are how you create your own life, right? That's just the reality, and that's just how, you know, how I see those things. So, yeah, manifesting your life, creating your own reality. It's about taking ownership of it. It's about taking ownership of it, right? And being the best version of yourself and living your best life. You have courage is the cure. How you going, mate? Yeah, it's about empowering. It's about empowering yourself. It's about, you know, knowing yourself, right? getting the reflection of where you are. You have to know where you are so you can and decide where you want to go. Without knowing where you are, how do you start to go the new direction? You don't even know where you are yet. Know yourself. Be happy with who you are right now. Embrace the person you are, who you are right now. And then decide whether anything about you now you want to change, because you can, right? You make the decision. You might be happy with everything about where you are now, but you are a creature of change. What you put out is what comes back. That's life, right? So I am going to finish up, everyone. It's been an excellent chat tonight for those who are remaining. We're down to 1 or 2, but that is all good. This has been fun. I hope that all of you have gotten a lot from the night. Please always take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I appreciate you all. Remember that Sunday night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time is my regular spot, but I will also jump on randomly during the week. I hope to see you all again soon. Take care of yourselves. And if you do like how I talk, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's all good. ME50, you are a legend. Again, I will try and jump on during the week. The last couple of weeks has been hectic for me. But I will guarantee I'm on Sunday nights every week. But hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon, mate. And I hope things are going well for you. Everything going well, just give me a thumbs up, mate. But I hope life's starting to move in the direction that you want, mate, because you're a positive cat and you deserve the best that you can create for yourself in your life, all right? And so does everyone else. But appreciate you, mate. You've been hanging out for a while. Hopefully you continue to hang out. But we will catch up very soon, mate. And, we'll see you all soon, all right? Craigsworldrocks. So does yours. Have a good night, everyone, or day. We'll talk to you all soon. All right, take it easy.